All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. It's been a whirlwind for you, huh? The last, let's say, 7 months? Been pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I know you had high expectations and high goals, but there's got to be a part of you that's like, yeah, I didn't even know. I mean, like, when did that become a reality? Like, I can do all these things. Like, when did you really start to like, this is gonna happen?
Honestly, not till after it happened. I mean, I didn't starting off at like Olympic trials. That didn't really feel surreal. Like I didn't understand yeah, it was the Olympic trials, but like I didn't know it was that doable, you know. I didn't even know what weight I was wrestling. I didn't really train too much for the tournament. Like it was kind of just go out there and do your thing, I guess. And then after that, then it was kind of hit me a couple days after, but like, I don't know. Still doesn't really feel like it happened. It's just, yeah, I guess that did happen. But then like making the senior world team and everything, like that was pretty crazy. And then on top of it, the other two world teams and then the medals as well. So I don't know. It's just been really exciting and crazy.
Well, I mean, was there a part of you like when you, I mean, looking back and like even going through it, I mean, obviously it's like, in a lot of ways a once in a lifetime experience. Well, hopefully for you it's not, but
Mhm.
but there had to have been a sense like at the end where you had to have been just freaking exhausted, not?
Yeah. No, I had a pretty hard wall right before senior worlds. It was like the week before, like at the camp. I was definitely hard. It was definitely I didn't really go into senior worlds with the right mindset or um yeah, I do regret like that whole week and then even senior worlds I just like wasn't like something was off. I didn't know what was going on, but something was definitely off and then U23 worlds like I felt a little better but like more hungry but still like not as excited as like I should be. I guess it is a lot of competing in one year, lots of draining mentally and physically. And then after U23s, I really wasn't able to train much. I think I went to two practices from the time of U23s that got over at the beginning of November to the Pan Am Games, which happened the beginning of December. So like I had two practices in a month span and kinda I mean, it showed on the mat, like, I didn't just because I was injured from U23, so, um, yeah, I don't know, it's been definitely a learning curve.
Well, I mean, and for you especially, like, I mean, there's a reality, like, I mean, the wrestling level's there, but there's also, I mean, you're also just finishing up high school, right? So you have your
Yeah,
test, you have all of that. Um, with your family situation, there's still very much where you're plugging in at home in a very special way that, a lot of people like that's not their reality. And, that's a one thing, like life doesn't stop for you, right? I mean, you had to
yeah,
continue to do those things well.
mhm,
And the wrestling is hitting a curve that's crazy. And so yeah, it was fun to see you plug through that. And I know we had some conversations along the way, and you could definitely tell like you're mentally battling some things as well. Also, it was fun. There was part two, like there was something else I saw, like the grittiness of that last match going in your bronze match, where it was pretty apparent, which I'm trying to remember, U23, right? That's where you hurt your elbow.
yeah,
It was pretty apparent that like even in semis you could tell like or whenever that match was you could tell like you were in a lot of pain, and to see you come back out and just like that grittiness in that fight and just go get it done. I don't know, I think something like you said, like you felt pretty good, but I think something that you can take with you for sure and continue to press forward, and it's like, man, I'm pretty freaking tough at the same time, mentally, physically. Obviously, even what you shared on your uh flow video or whatever, just about like with your family and stuff like that. Like the way that you just conduct yourself is pretty special. I'm just like, I'm excited personally to see you uh continue to grow. Obviously, you're pretty close with our family. We're excited. But going from there, like, why don't you lead us into, you graduated with high school, and I know you had just gotten done with surgery. What, I guess, man, it's been about a month already or so.
Mhm.
When, when in the college thing is starting to happen pretty fast. When did the wheels start really turning for you that Iowa might become one of those things? Had you had other visits set up, or take us through that process?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't really start thinking about what I was going to be doing next year until probably like a few days after my surgery, because I mean, I was finishing up high school. I know for a while I worked ahead so that I didn't have to worry about doing my exams when I was like post operation. So I worked ahead, and then after I like finished my exams and kind of like didn't really have much else to do but to think, that's when I kind of really started buckling down, and I got a lot of good advice from a lot of great people. Just That's something that has changed for me like this past year. Like I went from just a young athlete that's on the path to achieve her goals, and to someone that got super close to achieving her goals, and um, that kind of opened up a lot of opportunities for me to meet new people and just be able to like have a friendship or a relationship with the people that I looked up to. So just being able to talk to athletes that have been through the kind of the same situation that I have been. So talked to a lot of good people and got a lot of good advice from everyone. And I kind of just, I mean, in the end, I went with what my gut was telling me. I mean, it's my decision. It's for me. It's my life. Like I have to take control and do what I think is best. So I definitely had a lot of help deciding where I wanted to go. But I mean, if I were to go to college, like if I like was going to go to college, like it were to be to Iowa, and if I wasn't, then like if I wasn't going to Iowa, I probably wasn't going to college. So that worked out pretty well. Um, so I kind of like had a feeling that that's where I wanted to go for a while. Definitely considered WCAP and RTC routes and training up at the Twin Cities RTC, or I know the North Central coaches wanted to get me out on a visit. Um, but just like a couple options, and another option was to be to stay home and train with my personal coaches. And um, I mean, after I went on my visit, I kind of just fell in love with the place, and I went to one of the greatest duels of the year. So it's pretty hard not want to compete in front of something like that. So yeah, it's kind of how it went down. And literally 2 days after my visit, like I knew, like I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And then got the ball moving, and then eventually I announced it. So
That's awesome. We're super excited for you. And like you said, the environments, I mean, there's very few things like it. And Carver there. And then even I haven't got to see them yet, but the facilities, or the new facilities, are they done yet? Or
mm-mm.
okay.
They should be up. I think the shelves are hitting ground this spring, and then I think they said it's going to be up fall of 2023. So everything would be good by the time our season starts. So
Which is, I mean, there, nothing's going to compare to that in the country. So that's that. I mean, just little things like that. It'll be super exciting.
mhm.
And there's also, I thought it was cool too. Like when you decided, it just seemed perfect. Like you're coming through this. Your style is kind of that bigger than life. I mean, I wouldn't say that's your personality, but the style, the way that you wrestle, tough minded, just kind of go get it. Just fit almost like how everything was announced. All of a sudden, it's like, bam, big, we're going to Iowa. And at the
Yeah.
time, it just everything seemed perfect. And the first Power Five women's recruit ever. It just what an opportunity. And I know, like, for your goals and stuff, like making history and continuing to pave the way for others to come, like, how cool is that for you? Like, has that part of that sunk in for you?
Uh, yes and no. I mean, I like to pave the path. I like to do the unthinkable. I like to prove to the upcoming girls and the younger girls from me that are going to be the next generation that, hey, like, you don't have to follow in the footsteps. You don't have to do things a certain way. Like, you can do things your own way and still make it out in the end, if not out on top. So I mean, that was fun. I mean, it definitely kind of proved a statement starting at Olympic trials, going into all three world teams I made, and then this commit. So I like to make history. I like to make things exciting. So that's just what I do. Comes with my goals and everything. So
I know we're super excited. You're a lot closer. And I have a daughter that's really excited that she has these ideas in her head how things are going to play out. So I'm sure you'll hear about that at Big Tens. But there's like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. But no. But
how far are you guys from like Iowa City?
about 4.5, 5 hours. So not terrible.
Yeah.
We've definitely done a lot more for wrestling. So that'll be good. And even that, like, I love your desire and your heart to pour into younger girls. And even we've seen that with your siblings. I know right now you're helping coach and stuff like that now, which probably also isn't the easiest thing to do with one wing.
Yeah.
But like, when has that always been a part of you? Like, I want to give back, I love kids, or I mean, is that something that kind of developed as you kind of had to step in a role of almost a mom in some ways, or has that kind of always been there?
I mean, I've kind of always been this way since I was little. You know how little girls they play with Barbies or they play with this or they play with that. I always had a baby doll. I had a baby doll on my hip. I had a baby doll in strollers. Like, I was always playing with baby dolls, and every single Christmas I'd get a baby alive. Or when I was like 6 or 7 and my younger brother was like just born, I'd carry him around like he was my little baby and change his diaper. And I was just always really good with younger kids. And I always say to my sisters, like, they were born about a month before my 11th birthday. So like, I was like, you guys were my birthday present. Like, you guys were my sisters. Like, I didn't have sisters before then, and then all of a sudden I had two. Like, it's the greatest birthday present on planet Earth. So I've always just really enjoyed taking care of kids. I just find joy in just being around younger ones. Like, if you see me in a wrestling room or just in like a local, like, say there's like a get together, like, I'll be with the babies. I'll be by the kids. So yeah, I mean, that's just how I am. And it's definitely a different aspect of coaching the younger ones versus just kind of playing with them and taking care of them. But it's still a lot of fun. You kind of get to look at them and see how their thoughts and like the way they learn, and just be able to adapt to how they learn different ways, and also make it fun for them, make it not so because at a young age, like, it's hard to keep the younger ones in the sport because wrestling's gritty. It's a hard sport. It's not go to practice, play games, have fun. Like, sometimes, like, you do, but most of the times it's hard work. It's blood, sweat, tears that goes into it. So just kind of like keeping it fun, keeping the mood light, just being like a bubbly coach is kind of how I am. And yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes.
Um, let's go back to Iowa here for a sec. How big was a part of having Coach Chun there? Like, how big was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly one of the deciding factors. Realistically, like, I wouldn't want anyone else there. I trust Chun a lot. I mean, she's obviously a former athlete, a very good former athlete, wrestler, not just athlete. And, I know that one of my dad's biggest worries was, the Iowa style, the grit, the push through, like that. And I am like that just by design. But Coach Chun knows, like, you have a long career ahead of you. You need to take care of your body. You need to step off the gas pedal when your body's about to break down. You need to do things like that. And I'm still learning how to, listen to my body because I always like to go, go, go regardless. So um, Coach Chun was definitely a big deciding factor. Um, Not only does she like have the technique and everything, but she's also a great person. So um, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, what does rehab and stuff look like for you right now? What does your timeline look like? What does life look like for you right now?
Life is pretty boring right now. I definitely wish I was busier, but I do like to be busy. Um, Typically, I'll do physical therapy anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week with my stepmom type figure. She's my dad's girlfriend, but she's also my PT. So I do physical therapy with her. Um, and then I just got the okay to start working out and lifting again. So I'll go and work out like twice a week, maybe 3 times, just like lifts and stuff, and maybe get some extra cardio here and there. But I got to be careful not to push it because, like the first day that I did start working out, like my elbow was definitely irritated. So, just being able to like balance things out and listen to my body is important. But yeah, so kind of just hanging out, just the duties at home, clean up around the house, take care of my sisters, help them get them on the bus. Uh, Um, Sorry, my phone said it was at low battery,
No,
so I
you're
might have to
good.
plug it in soon. Um, but yeah, and then like on Tuesday, Thursdays, I started coaching. And then I have one of the younger girls that I actually took on the visit. She goes to the same club as me. She's flying in a couple girls and next weekend, so I'll be helping coach them. And then on top of it, I do small private lessons with this younger girl. She just turned 6, and I do small private lessons in my basement with her and my little sister. So a lot going on to stay involved, but I wish I was more involved because I wish I was on the mat. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what things look like right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Get well, get healthy. We're excited to see what's next. I know there's a lot of people all over the country and the world that that they're ready to get ready for you to be back on the mat. But we also want the best version of you. So take care of that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep.